crazy here in Portugal. The thing is, like, I don't know, I think this is the fourth day I'm trying to film this episode. Like, it's raining constantly, a proper spring day. Let's talk about today's guests, Plantain, not the banana, but the beautiful plant here. So this plant is from Plantago genus. It has like more than 250 species, but today we're gonna focus on 4 of them. But first, let me tell you a story. Around 1500s, European people set foot on the continent now called America. And wherever they passed by or wherever they settled, when the ecosystem was disturbed, this very plant right here would pop up. That's why the native Indians call this plant white man's footprint. Why? Because it's such a resilient plant. It likes sun, but it can also survive in a more shadowy place. It loves moist environment, but it can also thrive in a very compact soil. And it's quite wild. It pollinates itself and with the wind, of course, and it's perennial. So it's everywhere. It's so invasive. Came up with the invaders because the Europeans by then was using this, like today, as a first aid kit plant. Planta in Latin means soul of the foot. The Latin genus name has become Plantago. And this one right here is Plantago lanceolata. It's narrow-leaved plantain, Ribwort plantain. There is another version which is not here, another species, Plantago major. It has wider leaves. And if you see them when they flower, you're going to see that they're super different. And then there are 2 more, Plantago ovata, which is more in the Mediterranean side, and then Plantago Psyllium as a laxative that's been used quite a lot by many people. You can even see it in the supermarkets today. Psyllium, as sold today, comes from seed husks. So there is this mucilaginous effect of these husks, and it's just incredible because as you consume it, always with water, it really simulates the peristalsis, meaning the movements of the intestinal muscles. Actually, those muscles are everywhere. The moment we swallow, it goes all the way down to the anus and moves with those muscle movements. So think about it, this mucilaginous effect just supports this incredible movement, plus really nourishes the mucosal membrane with its emollient properties. So that's one thing aside. But also with the common plantain and the Ribwort plantain, like this one, their seeds can also be mixed with water and can be utilized in this similar sense. The leaves are really supportive for the urinary tract in the sense like it's an incredible diuretic, but not like most of the plants which sort of pushes the kidney to work more. This one right here is actually nourishing to the kidneys and helps support the elimination of the uric acids, which is great. This happens with the incredible compound within, which is called aucubin, and the same compound also is very helpful when it comes to the skin support, meaning when you get this plant, by the way, the taste is quite bitter. The aucubin in the leaf mixes with an enzyme in your saliva and it creates this another compound called aucubigenin. Aucubigenin is an incredible antimicrobial. Yes, it does help to take out all those thorns or like any bee stings. Yes, it helps support to take that thing out, but also a big difference, you can use this plant on those dirty open wounds because it's a great way to clean that dirty wound. If there's nothing, you're in the middle of nowhere and you have this cut or a wound, just grab it, mulch it in your mouth, make it a poultice, put it on, and then keep changing it. Let's say this is the first part of the thing, and then in the following days, just keep using the salve, even with yarrow, to make the blood stop quicker, easier. You can also make a salve with mixing with the calendula oil. Oof, amazing for eczema or like diaper rash or anything. So like skin wise, this plant has to be in your herbal aid kit for sure. Super well known, used for hundreds of years. That's why it's called green band-aid. One more thing about this antimicrobial effect, it totally has an affinity for mouth problems, meaning let's say you have some sort of an inflammation, a gum related problem. You just, again, take the leaf, mash it, just keep it there. Wherever you have the pain, wherever you have the inflammation, just keep it there and keep changing, of course. And you're going to realize that this antimicrobial effect helps it to heal. And then also the astringent effect helps those untoned tissues to get back into its form. Incredible. This also works for hemorrhoids because when you think about it, the plant is all about nerves. Actually, in Turkish, that's why we call it nerve plant. Any veins and stuff. So the gums are made of veins. Hemorrhoid is a problem of veins. Or like when you think about how the skin heals, during that process, there is this part where it's called granulation tissue. During the third or fifth day of the healing process, you realize that there is this sweet little pink tissue that comes up and then afterwards starts to properly heal. So this plant with this poultice helps this granulation tissue to properly build up and tone. Going back to this emollient effect that we were happy to use for our mucosal membranes, it's also great for the lungs when you think about it, for dry cough, or say like mix it with thyme. Imagine like incredible expectorants. So kidneys, digestive tract, lungs, skin. What else would you ask for? But don't forget, it's an incredible mouth healer. If you don't have the fresh leaf, that's why I really suggest you to collect some leaves and dry them nicely in the shade and then keep them for a whole year. Just make a tea, a strong infusion, and then make it cool down and use it as a gargle. Incredible. During spring, you can collect the young leaves, add it to the salads. Towards the summer, you can collect the more mature leaves and add them to the meals, like cook with them. You can dry the leaves, use it throughout the year. Let's say during winter there is a cut or something, you can also powder the dry leaves and then put it on the wounds and use it like that. You can also collect and dry the seeds and keep them in a jar to use on your plate or mix it with water and have that mucilaginous effect again as an emollient in a way. See, rain is coming. So yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. Here we go, Ribwort plantain. This is important. This is the last thing I'm gonna explain. So as you can see, more mature leaves are more obvious, but like there are these hairs, and then when you turn around, there are these nerves of the veins, let's say, of the plants. When you open up the bottom side, you see that there are these fibers coming out. They say use this as a fishing net or even as a stitching material during surgeries. So next time you see it, any walking path or like garden in a lawn, anywhere, just don't step on that path. Say hi, collect a few leaves, maybe put it in your mouth and feel that bitterness. And that's all. It started to rain. This is spring. I'll see you later. Ciao.